Gun rates in the US have reached the highest rates in 50 years.
There are several students who have been shot.
Something has to change.
It's a pressing issue that needs careful consideration.
If you ask what is the greatest threat to American life today, I believe many people will say one is the coronavirus and the other is gun violence. The website of the U.S. nonprofit organization Archives of Gun Violence said on the 30th, in the first 3 months of this year, on average, more than 115 people lost their lives to gun violence every day in the U.S. More than 90 people were injured. Compared with the same period last year, the number of people killed and injured by gun violence in the United States has increased. Gun violence has become a chronic disease in American society. As we all know, the manufacturing and the trading of guns in the United States has formed a huge industrial chain. When guns become a profiteering, relevant interest groups will become the political treasury of the U.S. presidential and congressional elections, form a military-industrial complex of politicians plus arms dealers. The U.S. military industry spends huge sums of money to lobby U.S. politicians and donate to their own campaigns, funding so-called policy experts in order to maintain a favorable policy discourse. It has long been an open secret. It can be said that every vote in the United States, in the end, it will be the bullet that hits the American people. The shadow of gun violence, U.S. policy, and public opinion are clouded all the time. During World War II, there was a structural connection between Americans' huge war machine and the economic system. A huge interest group consisting of the U.S. military-industrial enterprises, politicians, and scientific research institutions has been formed. Today, driven by greedy American politicians and businesses, arms dealers are targeting American civilians. American politicians count money with the arms dealers. The U.S. military-industrial complex was the only winner. When arms dealers can control the political arena, when the Pentagon and arms dealers can spy for personal gain, it's no surprise that gun violence in the U.S. is now hitting record highs. In stark contrast, the rebuild of a better future legislation, which concerns healthcare, education, and other welfare of the people, has been promoted by the President of the United States since he took office. It has not been passed in Congress for nearly a year. We can't help but ask, how does a gun-invested American move towards a better future? For a long time, for selfish interests, the U.S. military-industrial complex has repeatedly touted gun freedom as a reasonable option for American human rights. The manufacture, sale, and use of guns in the United States has long formed a huge chain of interests. However, cases of gun violence are on the rise. It has become a typical example of the shortcomings of the American system. It has become the biggest joke of American democracy and human rights.